All right. Tonight's rundown. What we got? CNN versus Trump. We're also going to be talking about Serena Williams, Jill Scott, Bad Baby, aka Cash Me Outside. How about that? Hillary Clinton and Pusha T. All that and more tonight. Live at 10 p.m. BroTalkLive.com, the best show on the internet for you by us. Bro Talk Live, always on the mark. It's your man, Jason. Reporting live from Baltimore this week, down in my hometown on the East Coast, and it's kind of late for me here. I'm not used to this 10 p.m. start time anymore. Let's kick it over to the superstar, the star of God's Trombone, Dex. What's going on, bro?
Hey guys, I'm really excited to be back here today. I feel like now that the play season is over, I feel like normal again. I can get back to my normal life. Thank you again to everyone who came out and supported and sent me messages and everything. It really does mean a lot. And I've been bitten by this bug, and I have a goal or an idea of what I want to do next. So we'll see what 2019 has in store. And now, get over to Ty.
Hey, sorry, I'm a little flustered. I'm buried in stuff in this room because I have all this prep stuff that I'm trying to work on for the baby, of course.
All right, let's start the show. I can't really hear you guys right now because Dex had an opportunity to tell me if my microphone's.
Oh, is that Wi-Fi going out too?
Don't mind Dex. He's very nasty today. I don't know what happened. He must be tired.
I literally asked him 10 minutes before the show started, do I sound okay? He said, yeah, you sound fine. And now he texting everybody, oh, you sound a little weird. You sound a little distant.
Just a little distant.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But 2 minutes ago was, oh, you sound fine. I appreciate that. All right, Bro Talk Live, always on the mark. Do I sound fine okay now?
You're still kind of low if you ask me, but.
Dex, do I sound fine now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, let's start with the first topic. Will CNN win? The reason I'm asking this question, we all saw the video with Jim Acosta.
The other folks, that's enough. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President, that's enough. Mr. President, I had one of the.
And he was trying to interview President Trump. Actually, I can't believe I said President Trump, Donald Trump. And he kind of swiped away at this young lady's hand. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was the press secretary, had this to say. President Trump believes in a free press and expects and welcomes tough questions of him and his administration. We will, however, never tolerate a reporter placing his hands on a young woman just trying to do her job as a White House intern. This conduct is absolutely unacceptable. It is also completely disrespectful to the reporter's colleagues. Not to allow them an opportunity to ask a question. Trump has given the press more access than any president in history, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. She went on to basically say, as a result of today's incidents, the White House is suspending the hard pass of the reporter involved until further notice. CNN, for their part, has come out and said that they are suing President Trump because he is violating freedom of the press, which is amendment number uno. And he also is violating, I think it's amendment number 5, which is due process when it comes to being banned. So guys, do you think CNN will win, this whole argument with President Trump, or do you think that, this guy will stay banned until Trump is either impeached or out of the office? What do you guys think?
I think he'll stay banned because Trump literally does whatever he wants to do. It doesn't matter what law he's breaking because what he's going to do, they're going to take it to the Supreme Court, and then what's going to happen? All Trump's buddies there. You're done.
It's kind of petty of CNN to do this as well. I think it's one thing to speak up about it, but to say oh, we're going to sue you this and this. For me, if I'm there and you try to ban me from it, I'm done with you. I'm not coming back.
So you don't you wouldn't want to come. I mean, it's his career. He's the chief White House correspondent for CNN, so it's not like he can actually really have anything else to do during the day besides go to these press briefings.
Yeah, we can figure something else out. I'm pretty sure we can figure something else out. Something tells me that CNN had something else for this guy that he could do.
Kellyanne Conjob came on to say that the video was not altered. She said it was just sped up as quote unquote NFL or sports sports people do all the time when it's actually the complete opposite. Sports media actually slows stuff down instead of speeding it up. What do you think about Kellyanne Conjob? Actually, her husband is also criticizing Trump lately, saying that he cannot basically operate the way that he's operating and just assigning people to posts like the Attorney General. But Kellyanne Conjob, of course, has something to say about that. Ty, what you think?
I missed the end of that. I'm sorry. I tried to hear you.
Just her husband basically making excuses.
Well, her husband's actually on, is not on Trump's side. Like he's actually looking out for the other part of that. But she's kind of caught in the middle of two. Would you take your husband's side or would you take the president's side?
Who's signing the check?
You have to take your husband's side no matter what. You know how I feel about that. I'm just so sick of these people. It's just one thing after another. And I feel like we're in a cycle and nothing ever happens. And it's just one thing. Like the press tries to hold on to the new thing that Trump did that's going to finally outrage his base. And it never outrages people. People just are kind of used to Trump doing his thing. And they really don't care about him violating anything. It's like really weird how people feel about Trump. Like in one instance, they think that he's protecting the so-called American way. And in another instance, he will violate parts of what is normal or the American way, and people will completely support it. So it's like almost like they're fans of him. Like Trump is like Kobe Bryant. Like he could go anywhere, he can do anything.
First of all, don't
Not
you
Kobe Bryant, I'm sorry.
Don't
LeBron James.
Okay.
Like people will follow him no matter what. And it doesn't matter. He can do whatever he feels like doing. Go wherever he wants to go, and people will follow him because they like him. It doesn't matter what he does or what he says.
Do you think all Trump fans are racist?
I don't know. I think people like him for different reasons. There are people who generally don't understand. It's not that they understand or they choose not to. Like it's willful ignorance when it comes to like certain aspects of racism. So they like Trump and they focus on the parts of him that they don't like, and they ignore the parts of him that they don't like. And just not say that they're necessarily racist, but they ignore the racist things that he does and like, oh, he didn't mean it that way. And they kind of move on because it doesn't affect them personally.
Dex, will Jim Acosta, do you think it'll be reinstated? I mean, will the lawsuit work?
I guess like if you're putting that pressure out there, I guess they will like kind of concede to it and let him back in. So I guess in that aspect of it, it'll work, but I don't think it'll stop the disrespect. Like, I don't think it's going to stop President Trump from disrespecting him and other journalists in the future. So, like, I guess on one hand, yeah, sure, it'll work because you'll have that opportunity to be there during the briefings. But then again, it won't because he's still going to be rude. Like, he's not going to change.
Yeah, you're not going to change his behavior.
All right.
Also, one thing I do disagree slightly with Todd, though, when he said that Kellyanne Conway should just agree with her husband. Like, if you have your own political viewpoint, like, you shouldn't just change it just because your spouse disagrees. I also don't necessarily think her spouse should be making public statements like that, knowing that she works there. I think that's a little odd, too.
Excuse me. All right, moving on. Was GQ being shady? GQ is under fire. They did a thing where they show all the men of the year. And they had 3 men of the year and 1 woman of the year, but a lot of people had a problem with the way that the cover was presented. So they said introducing the 2018 quote unquote woman of the year, and they had Serena Williams on the cover, the champion Serena Williams. And they put this tweet out there announcing GQ's men and woman of the year: Michael B. Jordan, Henry Golding, Jonah Hill, and Serena Williams, featuring handwriting by Virgil Abloh. So people were kind of questioning what the quote unquote was about beside the woman quote there. So Crystals had to say this: I just want to know why Virgil put woman in quotation marks on a Serena Williams cover. C. Beth Ree also said this: I can't believe no one at GQ thought perhaps with misogynistic and violent trans insults that Serena and Venus have dealt with for the last almost 20 years to not put woman in quotation marks. Editorial rooms are an effing disaster all over this country. I'm offended for her. But Mick Roos had this to say: because it was handwritten by Virgil Abloh of Off-White, who has styled everything in quotation marks as of late. See Serena's U.S. Open apparel that he designed. He's also designed numerous shoes, and he always has, his quotation marks on that. So are people overreacting? Are people too sensitive? and they just don't understand, the whole pun in the thing with Virgil Abloh, or is this a real problem? What do you think, Adex?
I mean, I would say, I think if people notice certain things and they call it out, like, you do have to address it. And I think for decades, we've heard things about Serena and her sister being like men and all that kind of stuff like that. And I think people probably do stuff like that as like a joke or something, like an inside joke between themselves, or like a pun or something to be funny or whatever. But like, if people are noticing this, like, you need to speak out and say, you know what, like, this isn't what I meant by it. I do apologize, or whatever. Like, I don't think you should just let it go, because then to me that does appear that you're trying to be funny or like shady about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just bad taste at that particular moment, knowing, saying all the stuff that Serena Williams has gone through. Ty, are people being too sensitive for this, or do you think they have a point?
So initially, I mean, if you're not familiar with Virgil's work, then it does look super shady. But when the explanation comes out, it's not. It appears that it's not shady. But like Dex said, they should have put that explanation out on their own. Like, oh, to be clear, this is what this is about. The artist, that's the artist's signature work. So it was just how he does it, and we wanted to use both of them. Blah 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 blah. Like, put the statement out there, and just like, don't just let it ride, because it does look very shady. But if, like, 'cause I was like, wow, I was just awaiting the explanation, because I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So as you're reading the story, I'm just like awaiting the explanation, and I did get one, just not from them. Like, they should be the ones to put that information out there, to be like, right, to be clear, this is what that meant.
Yeah, I don't get what they thought people would assume. Like, when you see the cover, saying nothing on the cover says written by, okay, it says handwriting by Virgil Abloh under Serena Williams, very small, as you can see there, like right under her name. It's very small. But, saying he didn't write this on anyone else's cover. Like, he didn't write, quote unquote, man of the year. Like, what I'm saying? He didn't do that for anyone else. I mean, I understand his connection with Serena, but it's very weird that, saying this will be the only cover that would have something related to Virgil Abloh. It's a fashion magazine. Like, if Virgil's, he could be a man of the year in fashion. So, saying if this is something that, he's highlighting, I feel like he should have did this for all the men's covers too. Like, I don't really get it. Agree, disagree? No,
I'm with you.
Yeah. I guess I see what they were trying to do. Like, I think the idea behind it wasn't shady or anything like that. I think they were trying to emphasize, the power of women, also the great stuff. But it just came off so wrong, like to cross out the man and to put woman, like to be like, women are here and, all this wonderful stuff that they tried to represent, I guess, if I had to really think about it. But you have to really think about it. Like, if you're just looking at it at face value, it just looks like something offensive, because you have this woman in quotation marks. And it's like, when I'm saying, when I do this, that means so-called.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh, here's Jason, our host. Like,
first of all,
like,
well, that's an appropriate use of it, though. Like, also, I think if they would have done it, because I get it, this is the year of the woman, and I think that he's probably trying to show, like, look, women are so powerful, this and the third. I just don't think it went across the right way, and he could
it was sloppily done.
He could have even put, like, crossed out men and put, like, person of the year. You know what I mean? So it's just like, but just to put woman like that, to me, it just kind of insinuates that you don't think she's a woman or something like that.
Or queen, something like that. It just could have been done better.
Yes,
it wasn't tastefully done.
Also, I want to shout out to Brandon and Latoya, who told me I was being a little nasty, so I'm gonna try to be nicer to you guys.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon and Latoya. Looking out. Is Pusha T ultimately responsible?
Yes.
This sign went up at Pusha T's concert last week on screens. And this is after the crowd, Pusha T came out, the crowd started shouting at Drake. So then I guess the corny tech dudes, as Pusha T called them, threw this up on the screen while Pusha T was performing. Pusha T had this to say about it: corny ass tech dude effing with my screens at Camp Flognaw. I speak for myself, and all of you know how I make my statements. Dissing anyone on screen isn't part of my show. Otherwise, great festival. Thanks, Tyler, the creator. for having me out. Is he ultimately responsible for the way that his fans feel about Drake, or the way that, you know, the sign went up? I mean, the fans were chanting it. I guess the tech guys put it up there just to kind of roll with the fans. But was this a bad thing to do by the tech guy, the corny tech guy?
I mean, it's not like a thing that you wouldn't say yourself. Like, you were in a full-out war with the guy. Like,
I guess, but it's kind of over now, right?
It's way over.
Sure, but like at the same time, like, I guess not. Like, it's one of those things. Like, it's not like it's you put like F Kanye West up there, somebody that you're cool with, somebody that you're not cool with, words that you've said yourself. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's one of those things that if Drake wasn't where he was and who he was right now, like, Pusha wouldn't care. But Pusha knows that, like, and this is what I was telling you guys before with their beef, and Ty was saying this too, is that, like, Drake doesn't lose this. Like, there's no way he's gonna lose because he's a bigger mainstream artist. So, like, I think Pusha looks at it now like, I look foolish beefing with Drake. Like, I look crazy doing that, so I have to just kind of like dial back from it. Because to me now, it looks like you're almost defending Drake in a sense. Like, you're like, no, don't say that. I speak for myself. Like, this is something that you would say. Like, take it and run with it.
Is this going to turn to a Meek Mill Drake thing where Drake's going to end up bringing Pusha T out on stage in a couple of years?
Oh, he could only hope so.
Pusha T can only hope so.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this one's a little like I think Drake and Pusha just don't like each other.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think Drake likes. Like, I think the Meek Mill thing was just like a funny battle. Maybe they both like Nicki Minaj. Maybe you know, Meek Mill crossed a couple boundaries and Drake wanted to put him back in his place. I think Drake generally just doesn't like Pusha T and what, like, some of the stuff that, like, when Drake talked about the situation, he's like, I was so offended by the things he was saying.
That's why I made tears on real quick.
By battling him.
And he made a whole album basically about Pusha T and why Pusha T's mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really did. Like, the album would have been a double album.
Yeah, he did a lot to, like, show like he's done with Pusha T. So yeah. I highly doubt that he'll ever, like, help this guy.
When you think about what Pusha T did, he did put out all of his business about, you know, saying his baby moms and the baby and all that stuff. So, you know, it probably does go deeper than rap at this point. But if Pusha's ready to mend fences, do you think this is?
I don't think Drake would piss on Pusha T if he would Pusha T. If he was.
Oh my God.
Especially remember, you know, like the diss about Drake's friend who with MS. Like, I think what really Drake said it himself. Like, there's no coming back from that.
All right, so no reconciliation in the works.
So keep it pushing, T.
That was one of the corniest things I ever heard.
That was cute, Dex. I like that. All right, Dex, you want to take this story over? Is Waka wise or dumb for getting out of the paint? Waka Flocka had this to say about his career. Dex, do you want to read this for the people?
No, you go ahead and I'll set up the rest of it.
All right. He said, I've been giving up. Ask my wife. I don't want to rap. I did what I came to do. I made past $30 million. Everybody I started with is rich. Everyone is happy. Everybody got kids. I don't have nothing else to do. Everybody else that didn't make, they died or they got kids. My right-hand man that was running the streets with me is a pastor. Life changed for me. People want me to be hard in the paint, Waka, but I'm 32 years old. I'm a grown-ass man.
Yes. We over here, Bro Talk Live, we agree with Waka Flocka. Like, you are a grown man. I don't necessarily think this means you need to give up rap. Like, you could still do it. Like, you have some amazing hits. I think people really like who you are and what you stand for. But we do think that sometimes it's time for people to, you know, just give it up because they're not doing what they used to do. And one of the people that we thought about collectively over here at Bro Talk Live that should give it up, we thought about Cat Williams. And I say that because Cat Williams is someone who growing up, I think we all idolize Cat Williams in the sense of, like, he's very funny, like, he's comedic, so forth and so on. But now you're owing $30,000+ to in taxes, back taxes to the IRS.
Allegedly.
No, it's not alleged.
Allegedly.
Like you're in jail every other week. You're dating Love and hip hop stars. Like, it's just a mess. And to be honest with you, Cat, we think that the best option for you would be to get out of the limelight.
Well, Waka Flocka's dating Love and hip hop stars too, ain't he?
Yeah, but like that fits him. Like, it just makes sense. And he's dating a good-looking one, too. He wasn't dating Hazel E.
Bro.
Who else needs to get out the paint?
Well, we also, unfortunately, have to go with Ashanti as well. Like, I am a major, major, major fan of Ashanti. I love Ashanti. I really do. But, like, as a fan of her, it's gotten to the point where it's just like you can't even anticipate what she's gonna do anymore because it's not exciting anymore. Like you haven't refreshed your team, like you're performing anywhere at this point, and like it's time to just give it up.
I feel like she's like on the Iggy Azalea diet where she's doing modeling and she all you ever see Ashanti do now is just post on Instagram. Like I don't know.
I think for me though, that's what rubs me the wrong way. I'm not here for it anymore. Like okay, you're attractive,
good.
You look great, but like this is the year of the woman, and you're not benefiting from it. And I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what do you? I mean, she's still on tour with Ja Rule, right? Is she still on tour?
Yeah, but like you guys have been on tour for 3 years now, and there's no new music between the two of you guys. You've released no new music at all. Like, what's the point? Like, I think at this point you have to give it up or come correct, and you're not doing that. Another person I think should give it up is Pooch Hall. Like, whenever. Like this guy has been so consistent with keeping jobs. Like I remember he came out, he was on The Game, he was on Ray Donovan, like he's still on Ray Donovan. Like you're so consistent with jobs, but yet you decide, and this is a story we didn't report on Bro Talk because we were off that week, but you decide to catch a DUI case because you want to drive with your 2-year-old in the car. You have to be seated. Like you can't do this anymore. Another person, and this is the last person, that is Tamar Braxton. You're such a shell of your former self that it's a bit ridiculous to me. Like right now she's out and she's talking about how fat her ex-husband was and how great this new guy is. And like there's nothing coming out of this. There's no music coming out of this. There's no benefits coming out of this. Just hang it up and let it go.
Well, her music wasn't that like bankrolled by Vince? Like wasn't
but like you have a recording contract. I'm pretty sure like somebody at the label is gonna put you on.
Somebody, maybe not.
And also, if this man was putting out all this money for your music and stuff like that, then maybe you should stay with him.
Todd, do you think that Waka Flocka is wise for getting out the paint, or is he dumb for leaving $30 million? You know that he made $30 million. Don't you think he can make a little bit more just touring?
I actually liked him. I actually like him a lot. So. I respect, like I understand.
Like Waka Flocka, that is amazing to me. Like Waka Flocka is like one of your favorite rappers.
I think that one thing that I said to myself that I always said, and even in my career, I said that I hope, and I pray. There's no greater blessing than knowing and understanding when you're done, and when you're done with something, when something is done with you, and like it doesn't. You shouldn't have to become a failure at what you're doing for you to realize you're done. Like, I think of him going out now and kind of transitioning into other things, I think that's kind of cool. Some producing, some mentoring, some other stuff. I mean, I don't think he's done with making money. I think he's done with like that space of his career. And I respect it and appreciate it. And, you know, I'll play some of his other stuff. Like some of his music is rough, man. Like if you're not in that space anymore, it's difficult to keep producing that level of music the way people expect from him, because that stuff is like pretty serious. Like there's gunshots going off in the back of his music. It makes you feel alive, man.
Alive in trap. Alive.
Like that's like some serious trap music. So if you're not like in that space, you know, you just don't want to do it. Like you don't want to be in the studio, you know, cocking guns in the background and screaming and yelling and jumping. Like cause he's like a vegan now. He's like trying to work on his marriage. Like he's like doing a lot. And it's like, I'm not going to the studio to do that. I'm not in that space right now. I can't.
I mean, I think when's the last time Waka Flocka had a hit? So I feel like this is kind of already in the works. Like we kind of already knew that he was done rapping.
And it's good because now, but we're not completely done with him. But if he puts out more music and it's terrible, and it's not selling, you know, it's like, you know, it's good to say.
Didn't he do that weed ad a couple of years ago? And that was a big hit. It was like a commercial or something for weed during Christmas or something like that. I can't remember.
I don't know. He's a likable guy. People still like him. Like, put it that way.
I feel like he needs to expand himself. Like his personality, I think he should be like Snoop Dogg. Like where
I agree.
He lives off of his personality now.
Have you heard him talk?
Who?
Waka Flocka.
I have not. I mean, I saw.
I know you haven't because he doesn't have any personality. I don't know where you got that from.
Well, he seems like he would be a
there are things that you can do because even though he doesn't. I mean, he's not like Snoop Dogg. He's not going to be Snoop Dogg.
Not at all.
Is Snoop Dogg, and it is what it is. But what we're saying is, look how well Snoop Dogg transitioned.
Yeah.
And he does music, but his thing is not music anymore. Like, he'll put music out. It's like something silly. You can buy it, don't buy it. It doesn't really matter. But his transition was very, very cool, very nice, and it worked. And it
but Snoop has personality. Waka has no. The only thing Waka can do successfully at this point is cheat on his wife. Like, that's the only thing that he does well.
Dex, what he be sounding like when he talked?
Like he just got like high and like okay. That's what he sounds like.
Literally bland as hell.
Boring.
Real dry. All right. Well, at least he's smart enough to get out the paint. Time for one of our.
I like that term too. I'm gonna use that.
You like
I need you to come out the paint, bro.
Oh, he used to go hard in the paint, so now he out. Time for racist. We all heard about this story. Jamel Robertson, he was a security guard, beloved church musician also in Chicago, who was shot and killed by police after he stopped a shooting in an area bar. According to the reports, when police arrived after reports of a shooting over the weekend, witnesses say Jamel Robertson, who worked there, had already subdued the alleged assailant, pinning him to the ground. They also said that Robertson was holding someone on the ground with a knee in his back and a gun in his back when officers from neighboring Midlothian got there on Sunday. They say when the officers got there, they encountered a subject with a gun and shot him, according to a statement with the media. But the subject was the security guard Robertson, not the subject in the bar shooting. Witnesses say that Robertson was wearing his uniform, including a hat emblazoned with the word security, and he was also holding a firearm that he was licensed to carry. So, guys, was the shooting of this young man racist, or do you think it was just a mistake?
In the words of Waka Flocka, shoot first, ask questions last. And that's exactly what they do.
Wait, did Waka Flocka say that, or Biggest Smalls?
Both.
Hip hop knowledge. You go ahead, son. Do you think it was a racist, or do you think it was just one of those things?
I have decided that it's best that I don't participate in this segment anymore, this racist segment anymore, because usually I say things are not racist.
Do you?
You guys get mad at me, and then other people during the week, they'll listen to the show, then they come up to me and they get mad at me. So, like, that's one of the reasons why I normally just try not to, like, I just don't think everything's racist. That's one. Then the last time we did the show, I feel like we haven't did the show in like 3 weeks. Then the last time we were here, we did this story on this woman. It was a racist segment we did on this woman who was like blocking someone from getting,
For the parking spot.
No. To get inside the apartment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We did that one, and I said yes, it was absolutely racist. The next day they said this girl's married to a black man and all this stuff, and I said, see, this is why I don't participate in that segment. So I'm gonna get a little bit more information.
That's not a thing. Like, people do. I don't want to get into that, but being married to a black person doesn't.
Oh yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that time.
Yeah, if you're married to a black person,
but I would think that a person who's married to a black person would be less racist than a person who's not. Although I know that's not completely true, but I'm just saying, like, I would be kind of like.
That just means she likes black penis. That's all that is. I mean, with a lot of. Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah, now that was racist.
I mean, whatever. In a good way. Mahershala Ali is in a movie with Viggo Mortensen called, I think it's called The Green Room or something like that. And they were doing a press tour about the movie. And according to a freelance director named Dick Schultz, what a name, who was present, Viggo Mortensen was talking about race in America when he said, for instance, no one says nigger anymore. This guy Dick Schultz was very upset about this, and he was saying that, you know, he was making the point that many people casually used the slur in the period in which the movie was set, but they also said that he had no right to even imagine the hurt that is caused by hearing the word in any context, and he was very upset that he used it. Mahershala Ali said, an excellent and poignant thought was unfortunately overshadowed by voicing the word in its fullness, which for me is always hurtful. The use of the word in the black community has long been debated, and its usage should continue to be examined within the Black community. The use of the word by those who aren't Black is not up for debate. The history of discrimination, slavery, pain, and oppression and violence that the word has come to symbolize only causes harm to the members of the Black community and therefore needs to be left in the past. He's saying that basically Vigo should, I think his name Vigo, right? Just saying it sounds weird. Vigo should have said N-word instead of saying right out nigger. Dex, how do you feel about what Mahershala is saying, that, you know, Vigo should have just said N-word instead of the full word?
I agree, because you can't make a statement saying nobody says this word anymore while you're saying the word. Like that.
It sounds stupid as hell. I think he wanted. I think he just wanted to say it. Like,
Yeah,
he wanted to get one in a certain context. I didn't see the movie, but he probably heard it a couple times in the movie. Says it a couple times in the movie. Maybe he wanted to really get one in because I think he enjoys it. Like there's everyone in a professional context. Everyone, even Black and white, most people in a professional context, when you're explaining something, especially when you're talking about histories, say the N-word. Like even Black people, when they're like in that professional realm, would say, yeah, and they use the N-word. And everyone knows what the N-word is. So why did you feel the need to expand the N-word into the ER word?
It's like talking to your parents. Like if you're telling your parents a story or whatever, you're not going to be like, you're going to say, and the B word. You know what I mean? You're not going to say like the actual word. Like, so it's like you purposely did it and just own it. That's what it is.
Just own it. Just call us niggas.
He said nobody uses the word anymore except for me.
What's that movie Huck Finn? Have you ever heard your history teacher or your English teacher or whatever read Huck Finn to you? And, you know, they're reading the text. And, you know, in that movie, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, there is, you know, the Uncle Tom part where they say nigger. And my English teacher never bleeped it out. Did yours?
Yep.
Well, in my school, they knew better. They knew what it was.
That's what in my school. Get your ass whooped
I
here
was
today.
cringe when he said it, but they were reading the text.
Your teacher must have had like impeccable classroom management, because if that happened in my school, like somebody's putting blood in your mouth.
Crazy part about it, I don't even think people would have been paying attention, but as soon as they heard that, like
they're done.
It's
like, I had a conversation with some students, and we were reading. I believe that is the book we were reading. But I was a Black teacher, and they were cool with it. And I kind of skipped over a lot of that stuff too, just because I didn't want it. I didn't want to keep saying it. But he said, like, every time the kids would come back to me, like every time the teacher read it, he would pause and say it really hard, like nigger. So it's one. So that's when you have one of those what we call courageous conversations. You're like, listen, that's overkill. There's no need. We're done. Like, do that. Like, you need to be respectful when you're reading this stuff. You can blank out. You can use N-word. You don't have to read it, and you're not going to. It's just not acceptable.
So you think Vigo just really wanted to use it?
Yeah, and I think your teacher was a little tripping too.
I don't think my teacher was racist though. Thinking back on it, but whatever.
Yeah, he probably was.
Time for Q&A. Tap.
Q&A. Actually, I'm really excited about Q&A today, just because I felt like people may have missed us or something, but we have some pretty good ones, and I don't even know which ones to pick because I feel the need to give all these people advice. Usually I get stuff and I'm just like, and I skip over it. But like these ones, they're pretty special. So I hope we can really give these people some good advice. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I think they're all great.
I'm sorry, I forgot to change the title.
We're looking pretty good. We might be able to do at least more than 2.
Yeah, I forgot to change the title for topic 2. That's not the correct topic. That was from the last time we did the show. My bad.
I was wondering why that was like that, but the topic is still great.
Yeah, the topic is still great.
Let's do it.
Let's do topic 2. Let's just start with topic 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, like because I was like, that doesn't make sense, but I moved on with my life. I figured you were being creative, and I just didn't get it.
I literally forgot.
I'm 17, and I met a 26-year-old guy at a graduation party. We really hit it off. He asked me for my phone number, and I gave it to him. And last night, he called and asked me out. I told him to call me back in a few days, and I will give him an answer. I talked to my parents, and they said the guy was too old for me, and I couldn't go out with him. I've read where males mature emotionally much later than females. So this 26-year-old guy and I should be on the same emotional level. Isn't that a good argument to give my parents to allow me to date this guy?
Girl, you're 9 years younger than this boy. What are you talking about? 9 years? We don't emotionally, like, we're not that far behind. Like, maybe 2 to 3 years, but like
I
9
disagree
years?
with you, Jason. I totally disagree with you because if you're 26, you ask a 17-year-old for their phone number, you're definitely not that emotionally mature. Like you still got some growing to do. So while I do think you guys might be on the same level, I think there's no going back to the parents. Like you've already told the guy, I got to give you I got to wait a couple of days to give you an answer. 1, then you ask your parents, they said no. 2, I think at this point it's over with. Like they delete the number, block him, and just move on with your life. Have fun at prom.
Why was a 26 at my prom? That was so shady. Why was a 26-year-old at a graduation party that you were? I mean, maybe it's their family member.
Like family member. But like, why would you be 20?
My concept. I'm sorry, Dex. Go ahead.
Why would you be 26, like trying to date somebody? Like you're like flirting and stuff at a graduation party for somebody who's probably like 18 or something. Like that just it doesn't make sense.
Like my concept of this type of stuff is like weird. When I was 26 years old, I was teaching 11th and 12th grade. And so that means that my students were 17, 18. And I just like the idea that I would want to date any of those people is absolutely insane. You are not on the emotional level of a 26-year-old in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, a 17-year-old would annoy every fiber of my being. And I couldn't wait to get away from them. They were like some of the most irritating creatures on the planet. So I can't imagine a 26-year-old being interested in a 17-year-old. Does he know you're 17? Like maybe he doesn't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe she just looks mature for her age, which is possible.
Because some of them look much older because we end up looking around the same age. But like mentally, it's just different.
No,
and
he
so
knows.
I don't think this works.
He knows that she's younger. He knows.
How do you know she knows?
I wouldn't want a 26-year-old who was interested in a 17-year-old.
I know.
As a 17-year-old, I wouldn't want you.
I know he knows because there has never been a time when anybody had, like, he's never called a grown woman and she said, give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you if you can take me out. Like, he knew she had to ask her parents for permission. That's how he knows that this girl is 17 years old.
I just think this is a bad idea. I mean, we arrived at the same conclusion for different reasons, but I agree with Dexter in that this is done. Like, please don't.
I feel like you should just stop it right now.
Please don't pursue this in any way, shape, or form. This is going to turn out bad for you. I could tell you.
And stay out of these graduation parties, R. Kelly.
This is going to turn out bad. I promise you that. But
it never works out. Tyga and Kylie Jenner didn't work out. This isn't going to work out for you guys.
Yeah, do what you want, but it's not going to turn out well. And don't write us back when it doesn't.
Or do.
Or do.
All right. Converted vegans or baby mama drama, Ty? Which one are we going with?
I love the baby mama drama one because that was like insane. The other ones were also pretty great, but yeah, that one's good. I was a surrogate for my twin sister after she was in a car accident that left her unable to have children. I already had 3 sons when she and her husband approached me. My husband and I agree. I delivered my niece without any problems 5 years ago. I am currently pregnant with a little girl now. I was planning on having my tubes tied after this. When I told my sister and her husband this, they grew very upset. Apparently, they were counting on me to carry one more pregnancy. My twin even told me it wasn't fair that I get 4 children and she only gets 1. It felt like a knife to my heart. I was completely blindsided. I haven't even told my husband because he will react with rage. I don't know how to interact. What?
Rage.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know how to interact around my sister anymore. Our mother died when we were teens. We've celebrated most of our major life milestones together. I feel completely alone. How do I deal with this?
Wow.
I'll speak last. I mean,
Dex said, wow.
What were you saying? I want to know what y'all think about this.
Like in my opinion, and I've never been through this situation, and so I don't want to sound like an asshole.
Clearly, who has been in this situation?
What fucking nerve do you have?
Who?
To tell me, like, I've already carried a child for you. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Jason, what do you think?
Likewise. I mean, I feel like I would I would just tell her to get over it, and if she wants a kid, she can have one of her own.
Oh my God.
I've been pregnant 5
There's other
times.
surrogates out there. I'm not the only surrogate, girl. I'm not going to keep putting my body through this for you.
When I saw the part, I don't think that she should have said, you get to have 4 and I only get to have the 1. Like, I don't think she should have said that, but that really like hurt me a little bit. Like that, like for me, like if I was in it.
But you have a child because I carried that child for you.
You would have no child for you. No children.
You're assuming that I'm going to do it again. Like no.
I think that's one of those things that you guys definitely should have talked about like before, like right off the back. Like that's probably a conversation we should have had. Like, would you be willing to do more than one? Like, if that time comes.
Right. But I'm done being pregnant now.
But I'm not birthing the whole family tree for you, girl. Like, what are you talking?
Exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like so the other day, my sister had a surprise baby shower, and like I had all my nieces and nephews in the room, and like I can imagine this woman. Like with her children, her niece and nephew, they're all running around. She's like, I sat here and birthed all 8 of these damn kids.
Yeah, but like you do, like, it's not like I don't want to do it. Like I physically can't do it, and I don't know. That really sucks. And I understand.
I don't think that's fair to. In all seriousness, I don't think that's fair of you at all. I think it's very selfish of her. There are other options. Like you have a biological child that I birthed for you. I can't imagine you assuming that I will do that twice for you and your husband to sit there and be upset with me, because I'm not going to be a surrogate for you again. Like not because I didn't do it the first time, because that was enough of a sacrifice. But to assume that I have to do it again, and I just had a baby, and I want to tie. It's your body. Like she doesn't have the right to your body. I don't care what y'all been through.
There's tons of people out there willing to collect $50,000 for a surrogate. Girl, get your money.
She might not have the money to do that, and like she might. Like this is my twin though. Like my twin. Like I just like there's a bond that we have that I. Oh my God! Like if I was her, I kind of understand where the sister is upset. Like I do kind of understand. I totally agree with you guys that like you don't have access to this girl's body, but like damn, that really sucks.
Like someone doesn't really have the rights to their own. That's what you're telling me, Dex. Like you don't have the right to your own body to decide when you're done having kids.
No, I just said like I agree with you guys in that aspect of it, where like you can't control this woman's body. Like you can't. That's not fair. But it's just kind of sad to know that like we're only going to be able to have this one if this is our only option. Like she's not willing to do it.
You can adopt. Like you don't have to have biological kids. Like if you can't, I think adopting would be the best way to go. Like there are plenty of kids out there that don't have families.
You take them then.
Look, I'm not the one that's interested in the kid. I'm just saying
she wants her own.
If you want more kids, there are ways to get more kids outside of me. Okay, that's what I would have told her.
I would be like, well, I wouldn't have to ask you if I didn't have this car accident, but you don't care.
I think that's selfish to put her in that position. I really do. Like that is not cool at all.
Dex thinks it's selfish for you not to have the kids in the first damn place. That's what Dex thinks.
Like you want more from me? Like I did this already.
I could totally see you just throwing that in somebody's face, Dex. Seriously, that would be. I could definitely. Oh, if I didn't have this car accident.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't matter what
your husband tries to react and like try to go off. Like, sir, calm down.
It just goes to show you like what. It doesn't matter what you do for people. Like they own. Oh my God! Like that is ridiculous.
It'd be your own family.
It doesn't matter what. Like I could give you a kidney, and you be mad because I didn't give you like amputate my leg and like throw it to your leg when you like. What more do you want?
Okay, Tyrese.
What do you want from me?
All right, for more questions, hit us up. brotalklive.com/questions. Just a time. So,
moving on.
Y'all love to play. I don't know why y'all act like Just Time is not the best segment on the show. It is literally iconic.
Only one is like
yesterday, but he's not acting today.
The People's Choice Awards were this past. Actually, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
We wouldn't know. We didn't watch it. Nope.
Nobody watched it. All right, cool. This has nothing to do with them, but we're going to pick some things based on some of these stories. So, Cash Me Outside, how about that? AKA Bad Baby, that's her name. This is what she had to say in a rap earlier this year. B, don't compare me to Iggy. That old hoe is washed up, and I'm lit. I wouldn't pay her to wash up my whip. Bye, broke B. Bye, hoe. Iggy Azalea heard this and posted on a comment on Instagram when someone said, "Who's going to see Bad Baby on tour?" Iggy responded with, "Are you?" Bad Baby responded by saying, "You should come. Would be a good memory for you of what a sold-out show looks like." And that was shade because Iggy Azalea just got dropped from her record label earlier this month, and they canceled all of her remaining tour dates. So this was quite on time from at Bad Baby. So guys, people's choice. Who are we choosing? Bad Baby or Iggy Azalea going forward?
Iggy Azalea.
Why? Iggy ain't released a hit in like 3 years. What are you talking about?
Iggy Azalea.
I'm going Iggy Azalea too. I don't want anything to do with that girl.
She can actually rap though.
Iggy Azalea.
All right, people's choice goes to Iggy Azalea.
Really? I never gave her the time of day.
She can rap. She's pretty good.
That's who. You sure she's not just like having someone write for her?
No, that's Cardi. You think about Cardi B?
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, Nikki Stan. All right, people's choice goes for Iggy Azalea. I would have chose Bad Baby. Kanye West was photographed. They said that the slave masters were going after him. It was attacking him. He was doing a performance with Kid Cudi on the stage. I think this was at that festival that Tyler the Creator had, but he was dancing and stuff like that. Lorde had a problem with that. She said, "I'm proud of the work I do, and it's flattering when other artists feel inspired by it to the extent that they choose to try it on themselves. But don't steal, not from women or anyone else, not in 2018 or ever." So she definitely took the woman side of that whole thing. She also posted photos of her March tour with the same box, or similar box, I should say, next to a picture of Kid Cudi and Kanye West with a similar box this past weekend. But the designer who actually worked with Lorde on her box had this to say. She posted this picture of the original box, which was done in 2007 by Georges Bizet at the English National Opera. She also posted this. About this time in 2005, I began an 11-year conversation with this extraordinary visual artist and musician, talking about Kanye West. Much of my work still relates to this ongoing dialogue about physical forms needed to connect artist and audience. Hashtag Kanye West. So basically the creator of this box is saying, "Look, girl, this was created way before you. You don't own the rights to it. I was working with Kanye West as well." Guys, do you think Lorde has a right to feel, impeached upon with her ideas, or do you think Cudi and Kanye West need to be left alone?
I'm on. Oh God, it pains me to say. I'm on Kid Cudi's side.
That just pains me to say because you didn't want to say Kanye's side.
I can't do it.
I'm on Kid Cudi's side.
I'm on Lorde's side. You can't steal from women. Team Lorde.
We're gonna go with Kanye. So 2 out of 3 wins. So Kanye.
No, I didn't say Kanye.
There's not a 2 out of 3. This is we all have 3 different people.
No, it's Kanye and Kid Cudi versus.
No, not and.
Nah, that's not how it goes.
Because one person's canceled, and the other person I'm thinking about listening to this old album from back in the day.
All right, moving on. Hillary reportedly will run again. She's back.
Where is she getting this money from?
She stole it. What you mean?
From Haiti.
She stole the money. From Haiti.
You know what happened to those emails? We're done with her.
And she will easily capture the 2020 nomination, according to a source close to Hillary Clinton. They said, what about the new generation of Democrats? They proved they're not ready for prime time with the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. Meanwhile, Mike Bloomberg will support her rather than run against her, they write, and Joe Biden wouldn't stand a chance. Clinton might not announce early, perhaps not until after Iowa, but rest assured that one way or another, Hillary 4.0 is on the way. Hillary's back, guys. So early polling numbers. Are you giving your early vote to Biden or Hillary Clinton?
Trump.
Those are only choices. I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Come on, guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
Donald.
What's wrong with Biden?
I don't want Joe Biden.
You never let us down the first time. It's over for y'all. I don't want none of y'all. The only person out of that whole camp that could do something for us is Michelle Obama. If she's not doing it, then nobody else. Because we weren't counting on her last time. We were counting on Hillary. We were counting on Joe. Y'all let us down.
Well, Joe didn't run.
Yes, that's the problem.
Well, because his son died. Come on, give him a break.
How old? Isn't Joe Biden like 78 years old?
So is Donald Trump.
Joe did not run because his son died.
Not 70, he's like 70.
Joe did not run because he felt like the time wasn't right because he was still dealing grieving.
Joe didn't run because he didn't want to get in Hillary's way because he know he would have like blocked her out. That's why he didn't run, and that's why he won't get my vote.
Come on, Dex.
In all honesty, I honestly, like, to be serious, no all due aside, I really don't want either one of them. But if I had to choose, I would not choose it. Like, Hillary Clinton can't beat Donald Trump. This is not happening. So I don't know why she thinks she can do it after. Like, when has she ever beat anyone? She wasn't able to beat Obama. She didn't beat Trump. Like, what is she back for?
She beat Bernie.
She did beat Bernie.
She stole from Bernie.
And he's gonna run again too.
No, I don't want him either. I don't want any of these old farts.
Who do you want? Nancy Pelosi? Who do you want?
I don't want her either. I want someone young, fresh, and cool.
Andrew Gilliam.
He can't even win the damn governor's race in Florida.
Well, I mean, because he's in Florida. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Jason. But for a black guy to get that close, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but you can't run for president and you can't even win your governorship. Come on.
Well,
but in Florida. Like, that's big. He's still very, very close. So very, very close race in Florida. A black person. That's huge. But
so we're not giving our vote to any one of these guys, seriously?
No, if I see any of them old farts cross my threshold, I will be voting for Donald Trump.
That's dirty. Joel Santana is the focus of 50 Cent right now. 50 Cent, likes to pick on people. He posted this picture on Instagram. Damn it, man. Just say no to drugs. This is going too far now. No teeth. Jesus Christ, positive vibes. He also posted a picture of his teeth, saying, right now, I want to thank God for the small things you have in your life that are great. Like your teeth. That lean ain't no joke. Positive vibes. Joel Santana responded with this picture of these nice porcelain veneers saying, next 100 check. So, guys, do you think these are Joel Santana's real teeth or are they dentures or fakes?
They're definitely dentures. Like, he just had no teeth in the other picture.
You don't think these are real?
No.
No, and they're actually very poorly done, too, because your
teeth, they look like dentures.
It's a bad shade.
It's a bad shade?
Yeah, it looks terrible.
They too white.
I'm 50 Cent on this.
Yeah, so I'm with 50 Cent. Those actually don't look real.
So people's choice is going with fake. All right, and last but not least, Jill Scott. You guys ready for this one? Jill Scott had this she was performing at a concert where she decided to simulate fellatio. Right now she's looking at the microphone for all the podcast listeners. She's stroking the microphone now, as she would when she's simulating fellatio. Then she decides to do a little tickle the balls there or something like that. What's that? Jackson's still unamused. And she finishes it off with a happy ending. She posted the following message on Twitter. Hi, I sing/act out all kinds of stories. You should come to see you to my shows. After Jill Scott show, most people get splendidly laid by whoever they came with. They also go on to be happier, more productive, and focused and wealthy lives. Guys, is this going to get you to a Jill Scott show? Or would you rather just go to Pornhub?
It's going to take a lot more than that for me to go to a Jill Scott show.
Why next?
It's just not my cup of tea.
You don't want to see a simulation on stage?
I mean, that's what you do. But, like, it wouldn't intrigue me to go to see her perform.
So that's not going to make you buy a ticket?
No, but I'm not going to Pornhub either. Like, just keep me. I don't get no checks on this.
Ty, which one you going with?
I mean, to be honest, if I have to choose between a Jill Scott show or sitting home watching Pornhub, obviously I'm going to go to the Jill Scott show. What's her name?
I feel
Jill
you.
Scott show.
But Pornhub is free. Jill Scott's not, so.
The tickets aren't that expensive, so.
Shade.
Jason, what are you doing?
I don't know. I probably would go to Pornhub. I don't think I would go to
I did not enjoy that. Whatever she was doing. I didn't enjoy it. No, I didn't enjoy that.
Did it make you uncomfortable?
Someone tried. I wasn't uncomfortable. I just didn't enjoy it. It's not something that interests me. Like, I don't want to see an old lady do that.
She's not old.
Lady.
How old is she?
Old, Ty? Come on.
How old is she?
She's like in her, I guess, early 40s, I would have to guess.
50.
She's not 50. Come on. Dex, can you do a quick Google search to see how old Jill Scott is?
She's 46.
46. There we go.
Pretty close to 50 if I round up.
So you're not interested in seeing 46-year-olds simulate sex?
No. I mean, no. I mean,
You
know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that someone in their 40s can't have sex and enjoy themselves. I just don't want to watch.
All right.
I didn't have an issue with her doing it. I mean, I think it's like whatever. Like, she wanted to do it. I just, like, for me though, it doesn't like make me more attracted to her or anything like that.
All right. So you've lost interest in Jill Scott.
I didn't lose interest. I never had any.
The same level of interest is there. Like, it didn't peak or take away. It's just still there.
Remember when Brian McKnight had that song? What was that song about vaginas?
Who?
What?
Remember a few years? Let me get that pussy. What was it? What was that song name? It was like crazy. Someone tweet me if you can figure out what was that song. Let me get that. It was ridiculous though.
Whose song is it?
It was Brian McKnight. Remember he?
Let me show you how to make. Let me show you how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Is that kind of like? I feel like this is kind of like that, where she's just like trying to explore new avenues. It might not work.
Yeah.
We'll still get reported in the end.
I like that Brian McKnight song though.
Disgusting. All right. Speaking about trying new things and hopefully they stick, it's time for Dex's BS report.
Okay. So the first story there, you guys know how we do this. I throw 3 stories out there. 2 stories are the truth, and 1 story is completely false. So the first story, let's go to Nebraska. So we're in Nebraska. There is an elementary school teacher who's making chili for the students. He decides that he wants to add a different meat into it. So he decides to add kangaroo meat to the chili. When students got sick and they were asking like what happened, so forth and so on, he told the superintendent that yes, I did put kangaroo meat in there just because it's a little bit leaner. Now the school has since apologized and said they won't be doing this anymore. But the kids didn't ingest like kangaroo meat. Monica Lewinsky is in the news. So Monica Lewinsky's in the news, and she's saying that she wants to have a conversation with Hillary Clinton and apologize to her. She also said that the infamous stain on the blue dress was actually spinach dip and nothing else.
Girl, it wasn't no damn spinach dip in the White House.
And then
And
then the final story is there is a man.
Not special. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a man, a 26-year-old man who actually is the first case of tech addiction. So the man said he's super addicted to watching the Hulu, like the Hulu channel, the streaming service, that he, couldn't stop doing it. He became obsessed with it. He's currently unemployed and he hasn't been able to find a new job or anything like that simply because of his tech addiction, and he's going to rehab for it.
What was he watching on Hulu?
Like just streaming the service, period. Just watching different things on Hulu.
Does Hulu have commercials, or is that just a cheap version?
It's staggered. There are some versions with commercials, but they're not very long commercials though.
Oh.
I think the spinach dip has to be false. So I'm going with that one.
Okay.
I think the rest of the story is true, but I think the spinach dip has to be false. Because there ain't no damn spinach dip in the White House.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. I agree with Jason. Unfortunately, we like to pick different ones, but
you guys are both wrong. Monica did say it was spinach dip. Now I don't know if it's true or not. I think it might have been something else on the address, but she did say it was spinach dip. The streaming, the tech addiction thing is somewhat false. It wasn't Hulu, it was Netflix. A 26-year-old man in India said that he was addicted to Netflix and could not stop watching it, and is now unemployed and is being treated for tech addiction.
Because that seemed like something ridiculous that could happen. That's why I believed it. But the Netflix versus Hulu, I guess.
So she really came out and said that was some goddamn spinach dip.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it's worse though that she wants to apologize for Hillary Clinton. What are you apologizing for?
Because what you mean? Why are you apologizing? Because you slept with somebody else's husband.
She gave her own sex. I don't think they slept together.
Okay, well she got the Jill Scott special, She gave him the Jill Scott special, and you know what I'm saying? And she took it to
I
the
think
Jill
Jill Scott
Scott like a spinach dip. Come on, serious spinach dip, spinach dip.
I wouldn't if I was a homewrecker and I like slept with somebody's spouse, I wouldn't apologize to them. Like that's not. You need to talk to your spouse, not me.
Spinach dip.
Have you ever seen anyone spill spinach dip on themselves?
No.
And leave a stain.
That spinach dip is not something that typically spills on people.
So she's not denying that she had sexual relations with that man.
No.
But like Bill Clinton said,
you know how if she denied that, like she would probably have to like leave the country. Like
no, but she's not denying that. But she's denying the fact that what she had on her dress was not, you know what I'm saying, ejaculation, but it was.
I don't think it was ejaculation. It's probably like slobber or something like that.
But she said it was spinach dip.
Yeah.
Like so after you did whatever you did with the president, you went and had a nice platter of spinach dip and spilled some on yourself.
Or during or before. You don't know what they into.
What?
Can we name the title of this episode "Spinach Dip"? I think that's funny.
Seriously, you gross even eating spinach dip in the first place. What's spinach dip like? Spinach and mayonnaise? What is that?
No, spinach dip is spinach and cream cheese. It's
I was about to say spinach and cream cheese, something like that. Even worse.
Very good.
Dex, you be having spinach dip? You spill spinach dip on yourself?
I make it. I make spinach dip.
You spilled it on yourself?
No, sir.
Have you ever spilled spinach dip on yourself? No, be honest with me. I just want to know.
No. No. It's a solid thing. It's very solid. Like
that's what I was saying. Like it doesn't fall off.
And it doesn't fall off in dribbles. Like, come on.
I'm actually making spinach dip for the company potluck, so I'm gonna call it. I want to call it the Monica Lewinsky.
Are you eating at the company potluck?
Huh?
Are you eating there?
Mine.
What day? What day is it on? Because you'll be sick the next day.
It's Tuesday actually, and I want to play a game on this show too. I'll talk about it with you guys afterwards. That I think would be really fun. Like,
can you do a test to see if you can like get that same stain that she had? Like, just do an Instagram test and like just put up her stain and you try to recreate the stain to see if it's actually spinach.
No,
I'd be curious to see. Like, I want to
see. This is like a test study.
Come on.
Move on.
It's a test study.
I'm not doing it.
I will give you $5.
We need you to do it.
Wait, how much?
$5.
If you make it $10, I'll consider.
All right, that was Dex's BS report.
If you're out there, cash out Dex $10 so you can do this test for us.
Time for seats. Who's going to host this one?
Dexter.
Go right here. All right, I'll host it. Time for seats. This is the part of the show where we give out all the seats that Brandy and also
Nicki Minaj and Ja Rule.
Nicki Minaj and Ja Rule appear to have a surplus of. Do you guys have any seats that you would like to give out to certain people in your life?
I feel like there's so many seats, but the first one the only one I'll give out today is I want to give us. Nope, I can't do it. Nope, no seats for me.
Oh,
go ahead, Ty.
So today I was walking out of the store and like I almost bumped into this lady, but she happened to be at the door. It was like really weird. So I'm like, oh, excuse me. And I keep walking. She's like, you're welcome.
Nasty.
You put one of my numbers.
Like, so it was really weird because like, yes, you were holding the door, but I'm not saying excuse me to you because I almost bumped you. And then also thank you for holding the door. Like you're getting one or the other. Like I'm not about, because now I'm having a conversation with you. I have
to call into the conversation.
Like you aren't holding the door for me. I almost knocked you out the way. You stepped to the side. And I walked to the door, and I'm like, "Oh, excuse me," because I was like in a rush. And then like I'm not also like, and by the way, thanks for holding the door. Like, no, I'm done.
How did you say excuse me?
I was like, "Oh, excuse me," and I walked by.
Yeah, you probably said it a little.
You said it like she was in your way. Like you didn't say it in a nice way.
You probably said
excuse me. I said it because I like the story is weird. Because like I come around the corner and you're coming out the door, so I literally didn't see her.
Yeah,
so it was like one of those excuses because I almost knocked her.
She doesn't get a seat, you do.
No, she needs a seat. There's also this lady who was in the store, in another store, because I'm in stores a lot apparently. And like, oh, I was at the Chinese store, which I don't know what I was doing there. But anyway, she walked in like, I'll have the usual. And like they didn't know what she was talking about. And so she's like, they're like, so, you know, so what I always get when I come here, they're like, do remind me. And she's like, I want the such and such. And she's like, what size? She's like, same size I always get, small.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, who the hell you think? They obviously don't know who you are or what you're talking about. And she's like, her right there. She don't who always cooks my food. I'm like, well, she's not cooking right now. She's like packing the refrigerator. So like these people don't know you. Like, why are you in here harassing them? Like, walk in, tell them your order, sit down, and then leave. And after she caused the scene, she was like sitting down. I tripped over her, like fell on her on my way out the door. So she was like, completely in the way that whole day.
Did you say excuse me to her?
No, she deserved the seat. I did say excuse me.
Leslie's gonna go to Wegmans. You guys have Wegmans up there?
We do.
So I don't know if you guys have Wegmans have self checkout, but I was in Wegmans, of course, in Baltimore, and I went to self checkout line and I attempted to buy my goods, purchase my goods, but they don't accept cash at the self checkout line, and I'm like, what is the entire point of having a self checkout line if you can't use all forms of tender? Like, I'm giving you literally the American form, the legal American tender. And it says, "Oh, no cash accepted." So you have to suspend your transaction and go to a cashier and check it out. I'm like, what the hell is the entire point of even having self checkout then?
What in the 1997?
Yeah, like, why are you only accepting electronic payments at self checkout? Like, this is ridiculous.
I didn't ask you going off or something like that.
I will say though that I hate to do this to you guys that say that your seats aren't that good because they're not. But like you were wrong, like how Ty was wrong during his seat. Like you're wrong in yours because I told you guys, like I think at the beginning of this year that we're not doing self checkout. We're going to the lines of the people so that they can check us out, so that they can remain employed. That's how we're making America great again. That's why Toys R Us got closed. You do remember that. So the fact that you decide to go to self checkout, you get what you get. You don't get upset.
And never mind the fact that there was 3 signs on it that said "No cash accepted." Like it was above the register, on the register, and below the register. I totally didn't see it until I rang up.
Just in case.
Just in case. Ridiculous. You have a seat, Dex, or you good?
You know, I will get my seat. So there is this restaurant that I frequent in my area, which a lot of people say that like it doesn't make sense for you to go there anyway. And it's very simple, but I just feel like, Jason, your story reminds me of this because we're in 2018 now. So I went to this restaurant, it's called Blue Bay, which boasts as being the best Chinese food, seafood, and hibachi. That's the kind of restaurant it is. Ghetto. So I go there. Again, no, it's soul food, Chinese food, and hibachi.
What? Soul food and Chinese food?
What's
soul food and Chinese food. Like,
yes, it's soul food, seafood, Chinese food, hibachi. That's what it is.
I've never seen that before. Where is that?
It's like on City Line Avenue. Like right where that like Wendy's is at, and then there's like police and fire and stuff.
Who owns it? What race of people owns it?
Chinese.
Yeah,
or like Asian.
So they swear they had the best soul food in the world.
Yeah, but you know, because when I lived in New Jersey too, there was a restaurant. I forgot the name of it, but they had soul food, and there was Asian people that owned that too. So they take it over.
Oh, they know what we like.
But I went in there, I think yesterday, and I got food from there, and then the woman told me like the food came to like $6 or whatever, and she was like, "There's a minimum of $10, and if you don't spend $10, like they're gonna charge you $3 or something."
That's illegal.
And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's
like,
illegal.
Like to use your card, you have to do that. And I'm like, that doesn't make it. I don't carry cash around. And like, I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to pay you $3 more for food that like costs less. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. So you need to be seated for that. And there's a bunch of companies who do stuff like that.
Exactly. I know a lot of people who do that. A lot of stuff.
It is 100% illegal. Like if you read actually like.
Okay. No.
They shut him down because he was telling their secrets.
Wherever legal form of tender I give you.
You gotta repeat all that because you
gotta repeat it because the government heard you and they shut you down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said you can take that little that little notice or law or whatever like that, and you slam it on the table when they tell you you're gonna have to pay $10 and say this is goddamn illegal. You're gonna take whatever legal tender I give you, okay?
And then they're gonna be like, all right, we'll make this exception this one time.
You know they will.
And then next month they'll be like,
I didn't know that. It happens so often at those little ghetto stores that I didn't even think that was illegal. I didn't even waste time to even. I never even thought about it.
Shout out to Twitter. They told me that was illegal, and they gave me a little link to it. So
the next time I go in that store, I'm gonna say, I want what I usually get, and I want to pay how I pay.
I'm gonna get in there and show my ass next time I see one inside. You should have told me that.
yeah, definitely. And those little gas stations, 7-Eleven or whatever like that, they say you have to have a $5 minimum and all that stuff. Yeah, 100% illegal. Don't forget, because you can't charge someone like based on what you're going to be charged.
Is that one of those things that's illegal by state though? Because I don't want to be salty.
No, it's federally illegal. Like, you can't charge someone extra just because you're going to have to pay a credit card tax. Like, no, you can't charge. You can't pass that down to me. No, it's illegal. Don't forget, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and comment about the show. We appreciate every single comment, like, and subscription that we get either on the podcast or on the YouTube show. BroTalkLive.com. I want to thank everybody who has reached out to me and prayed for my grandmother as she's going through this issue. We appreciate all of your thoughts and your prayers, and she's doing better. You know what I'm saying? So just continue to pray for me and my family, and hope that she can get back home and, you know what I'm saying, just live out her days in a peacefully and a comfortable way as possible. So yeah, that's my girl. You guys have anything to say to the people?
Just thanks to everybody who came out to the play this past weekend. 3 nights. It was amazing. Like, it was a really different experience. And also there's some people like that, like, they're not that they're haters, but like they're very brutally honest when it comes to me. And they told me that I did a good job. So like, I really feel like I have a future in this. And I'm just really appreciative of people who,
Hamilton, here you come.
Yeah, right. Thank you guys so much for this work, and for the cast too, because like a lot of people on the cast told me that, you know, they're going to start watching Bro Talk and tuning into it, and I love that, like, I made this connection with people, fellow actors and stuff who have projects and stuff, that like we can support each other, and I really appreciate that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sorry I couldn't make it up there, but you know, family emergencies, you know.
Understandable.
Tyler God, do you have anything to say to the people?
Yeah, such beautiful messages you all shared. We just thank everyone for supporting us. I actually was like looking at some clips from last year, and it was like in years past, in all the different places I've lived, and I'm like, we've been doing the show for a very long time, and there have been people who have literally been supporting us from the very beginning of the show, all the way up from like when it was like grainy and dark, all the way up until like segments and all cool stuff started happening with the show. Like, people have been rocking with us this entire
Grainy and dark. That's always Will said.
Absolutely.
And all the way up to when Dexter used to be nice. Dexter's very nasty now. I don't know what happened or why.
He gained weight. If you guys go back and watch these other episodes, I was so skinny and I was so nice and positive. Now I'm fat and I'm miserable.
You know, Dex has his little errors. Like, he had bad.
If you ever want to go for a run again, I promise not to break your foot.
And break my foot again. No.
We had Bandana Dex. We had our fool Dex. We've had Nasty Dex.
We had a lot of Dexters. Every
year is a different era for Dex. I like you, Dex.
And now you have fat, angry, miserable Dex. I'm basically Donald Trump at this point.
Speaking of running, Jason is the worst person to go running with because he wants to have like a full conversation while you're trying to like focus.
That was like 4 years ago, but
and he's still the same way because then we climb something, you still want to talk.
People are turning it off now. They're like, oh, these motherfuckers, they just ramble. Oh, but before we go though, I do want to say rest in peace to Stan Lee. I think that was
who's Stanley?
Stan Lee.
Stanley who?
Who's Stanley?
Stan Lee.
Oh, the director, the Marvel director. Okay, my bad.
Director.
Oh,
I forgot you lived in Baltimore. Like, when we were growing up watching Spider-Man and X-Men, you were learning how to shoot guns and avoiding drive-bys. My bad. Sorry.
Shout out to Baltimore. The city still loves me. I appreciate you all. Are you going to cry more at the end of the next Avengers movie when they say rest in peace Stan Lee, or at the end of the next Toy Story movie, which actually the preview just got released for that? Because we know we know somebody's going to die at the end of Toy Story 4.
Because Tom Hanks is like, enough is enough. I'm not going to keep doing this.
He's not going to keep going.
I would probably, I don't know, because I almost cried during the last Avengers, and I, with no shame, teared up during the last Toy Story. So maybe both.
Ty, have you watched Toy Story 3?
No, I've not gotten a chance to see it, but I'll probably get around to it.
I haven't gotten a chance to see it in freaking 5 years.
Me neither.
It's not
Is it
gonna
that
happen.
old?
Yeah, it is. We grown
Oh,
ass
wow.
men, so you know what I'm saying, we ain't got time for it.
I'll get
Maybe
around
I'll
to
watch it because my daughter's alive now, and she can probably.
She wasn't alive when this movie came out. You guys like to do this. This is another thing. Ty and Jason like to do this thing to be like, they try to make me, because they don't do this to Will, they only do it to me. They try to say, like, you wouldn't understand because you're not married. You wouldn't understand because you don't have a child. Let me tell you something. You guys didn't always have children. So stop saying that I wouldn't understand stuff. Like the same stuff you guys understood before you had children, I understand it now.
All right. For Ty, for Nancy Dex, my name is Jason. This has been another edition of Bro Talk Live. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, check out the podcast, brotalklive.com for more Bro Talk Live segments, and we will see you guys next week.